In Chapter 8, we're going to look at the maintenance of your school library. A school library needs to be relevant, accessible and attractive. Therefore, stock taking and weeding are very necessary in achieving these goals. Stock taking assists in evaluating the school library collection. It should be covered in the collection development policy of the school library. The stock taking process is a very time-consuming exercise and logistically difficult to undertake in a functioning school library. But it is very important that you do stock taking. The advantage of stock taking is that material that needs to be replaced can be identified. Missing material could be found in the collection. You can look at security issues and the location of materials. The benefits of stock taking include, furthermore, that the library collection is handled with every stock take. The shelving order is checked, making retrieval of books easier. Resources that need fixing or replacing are noticed and can be taken out of the collection. Stray items left between or in books can be found in the book itself or in the shelves, and the shelves can be neater after stock taking, and that can be very attractive or more attractive for the learners. The stock taking policy should include the following. Once again, it is very important that you do have a policy when it comes to stock taking. In the policy, issues that you can look at is the maintaining an accurate catalogue in terms of the current items in the collection. So in other words, you can always see that the catalogue cards is up to date. The policy can assist in the development and planning for the future collection. It can help with the assisting with procedures for security. It can reveal weaknesses in terms of control of the stock. It can help with the removal of unused or out of date or damaged items from the collection. And it can help providing statistics which can be helpful when funds are raised for the collection. It is best to schedule stock taking during quieter times, such as at the end of the semester. Some libraries only take stock for their entire collection once a year. Others take stock of only the most used collections and the remaining material only once every 2 years. In other words, how you do stock taking is up to you, and it will also depend on the size of your collection. The least disruptive approach would be to take stock of one collection or one shelf at a time. In this way, the library can stay open and only a part of the collection will be unavailable. And remember, once again, get your library monitors to help you during the break or after school. You don't have to do this on your own. The responsibility of the stock taking is the responsibility of the teacher librarian, because you are the overall manager of the stock and what is going on in your school library. Library users will be quick to point out items in the catalogue that cannot be found on the shelf or outdated material. It is very important to communicate when the stock taking will take place, so that the teachers and the learners can know when the library will not be available. Prepare well for stock take. Make a checklist of what is needed before you do your stock take. Recall all items. In other words, you can give out your notice, say stock take is going to take place from this to this date, and then you ask the learners and the teachers to return all your resources so that you can have it in the library to make the stock taking process easier. It might be also a good idea to weed the collection before stock taking. Walk through the shelves, look for tattered books or old books or books that has never been issued. Make sure all the material for the stock take is ready. New date sheets can be put in the books and barcodes and some new pockets. 2 people are best for the actual stock take. One to check the item on the shelf while the other checks the item on the list. Work systematically. Decide on a way to easily extract items from the shelf. Items not on the catalogue list or items that need rectification can be marked with stickers. You can put on it mend, withdraw and discard, or withdraw and replace. In other words, make notes as you go along. Remember to change the status of missing items on the catalog card after stock taking. This is just a way to keep your catalog up to date. It doesn't help you removing material from your collection, but your catalog card still reflects that the book is in your library. A report on the stock take can be valuable to the community and to the library committee as well. So after your stock take, just write a short report on the outcome of your stock take. The amount of books that was removed, the amount of books that were damaged, or perhaps a collection that is not used. Weeding. Weeding is the removal of material from the library collection in a systematic way. Weeding should be covered by the collection development policy of the school library, because you need to explain what is the purpose of weeding, why is it necessary to weed, and the criteria to be used when you are weeding material. Weeding is an ongoing part of collection development. By weeding, a good impression is created. Shelves are always up to date and neat, and your teacher librarian will know the collection. The advantages of weeding. The advantages can include the following: saving space, saving time for everybody by easily finding the books, the collection is more appealing, enhancing the library's reputation of reliable and currency, and keeping the collection up to date. Sometimes weeding is not done for the following reasons: the time constraint. It is very difficult to throw away books, upsetting the users, and fear that items will be needed later. But weeding, unfortunately, is necessary, because the more books you get in, the less space you will have on your shelves. So from time to time you will need to go through your collection and discard of old books. The weeding policy should have the approval of the school administration too. This policy should include the following: how much to weed and when, the schedule, perhaps during exam times or at the end of the semester, a plan for teachers to evaluate material before it is discarded, how to discard of material. Can you give it to a second-hand bookshop, for example, or another school who is setting up a school library? What is the criteria for weeding, and who is the responsible persons that's going to help with the weeding process? Factors to take into account during the weeding process. What is the purpose of the school library? The need of the school library in the community. In other words, is it for learners, teachers, and also for parents in the community? The availability of more suitable material, and the budget that is available to buy new material. The relationship of a particular item to others on the same subject. In other words, if you read a book, is there still another book on the same topic? Agreement with other libraries in the area where more current books may be borrowed. In other words, taking hands with the public library. And then you must also look to the extent that the media center serves as an archive. Sometimes you might be in the position to keep old books. You might have the space so it can serve as an archive. Then you look at the future possibility usefulness of the item. Is this book going to be used in the future, or is it only relevant for now? Then you must also remember that the internet can be used to access some more current information. Other weeding criteria that you look at is the copyright date, the last issue date, the publication date, and additional copies available. So you can see this criteria deals with the currency and is the information still up to date and usable. This is just a column I've included for you to look at because different collections need different approaches. You can read through this. If you look at philosophy and psychology, books should mostly be weeded on condition. If you look at social sciences, Books should be aggressively weeded. The collection must be current. So you can see there's quite a difference in how you will weed philosophy, because some of the principles in philosophy is still applicable today, but social sciences you want to keep up to date. Have a look at this column. It's also in your study guide. Some weeding logistics. You can send a letter to the teachers stating that the weeding is going to take place or has taken place. Give the date from when the weeding process will start and when it will end. State the reason why the material is being removed from the collection. Remember, people can be very sensitive when you remove books from the collection, especially if you are going to discard them. Ask the teachers to come and have a view of the items and make recommendations on whether to keep it or discard the items. It is hard to throw away books, but recycling is an option as well as selling the books, and this can generate funds to buy some new books for your school library again. The material can also be donated to other libraries or booksellers, and in this way you can help somebody else or another school to set up a library. Once again, you can go to Blackboard and you will have an activity to complete.